now here I am in the system, whereas there's nothing. You know as well as I know. There ain't nothing in here. Ain't nothing in here, but there's something in here. There's something in here that you can grow from. You can learn from and grow from. You know what I'm saying? Like, I had it to the point where, man, I said, you know, I can't do this no more. I can't. And I ain't even started yet to do anything, but it's just the thought of knowing that it's so wrong. This is 56 years we talking about, bro. I mean, this ain't no 5 years, 10 years, 50. This is 56 years of my life that these people took from me. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that I have a daughter, knowing that I have babies out there, you know, and a family. You understand what I'm saying?
An incarcerated individual at Garner Correctional Institution. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
I'm back in court again. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back in court again. I'm not going to put the date or nothing out there or whatever, but I do have a date, official date next year. And I'm looking forward to that, man. It's been 5 years, man. You know, because the last time I put it in, you know, this was a habeas. So the last time I put my habeas in, I wasn't even prepared yet. And I was just so wanting to be free of this and inside of this from beyond these walls, man. And just knowing I was just done so wrong and unjustly. So I wanted to make sure that everything, you know, every duck was in a row. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I didn't want to be that type to just blow everything, because once you blow your habeas, that's it. You understand what I'm saying? So that's, you know, so my lawyer, he was like, listen, man, you know, we trying to get these two people to come forward and kind of recant their statement and stuff like that. And so I said, oh, okay, well, let's get it done. I got information on what they needed or whatever the case may be. And they just, you know, they just kept ducking. You know, so they, you know, one of the two females. And I'm not gonna put them out there because I don't want no harm to come. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna put that out there. And protecting their identity more so to speak. And so they never wanted to come forward. So my lawyer, he tried to get in contact with them. They don't want to get in contact. You know, they're not trying to hide him. So it was just a back and forth thing, man. Back and forth with the situation. And I really needed them at that point. And the crazy thing is, you know, they had one of the witnesses that really could have turned this whole trial around. Like if she came to court, she'd have really told us what it was. You know what I'm saying? And they was afraid of that. And so whatever they did, you know, she ended up going to Florida and ended up coming back into the state later on after everything blew over, whatever the case may be. So when it was time to go to court, like, you know, actually go in front of the judge, so my lawyer was like, listen, man, we ain't got nothing. So we can't go in front of the judge with nothing, man. You know, I know how you feel. You've been sitting there for a long time. I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? As far as, you know, I know how it is as far as, you know, being delayed, so to speak. You know, not speaking in the prison sense, but of him doing time and nothing like that, but we just speaking in the sense of, you know, being delayed. And so he understood that. And I cried on the phone, bro. I broke down on the phone in the ping pong room. I'm sitting on the phone talking to him, and I just broke down. I was crying like a baby. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I'm like, how can I come to this goal and for being so wrong, come now to where I'm at, and next thing you know, it's just like a slap in the face. You know, all this work I put in. You know, so you know, he was just telling me, yo, man, just keep your head up, man. I know this. He said, I just want to tell you this, man. You know, I know it's hurting you right now, but just know that things are going to look up. Things are going to be better, man. You know, you may be down right now, but you don't believe me, man. Things are going to turn around for you. And I'm sitting on my phone other than the phone, like, I'm questioning the thoughts of what he's saying. Like, what do you mean I'm going to be all right? Like, now I'm being aggressive now. You know, so, like, I'm like, man, what you mean? What you mean I'm going to be all right? Like, as if you know what sitting up here just speaking for me, but at the same time, but I'm blaming this man, and I understand, like, I understood later. I didn't understand right there, but I'm blaming this man for a lot of things that, if I was in my right state of mind, I would come to a great understanding of what he was dealing with as a lawyer, as a representative. So, I'm conflicted, with my emotions, and so I said to myself, you know what, it is what it is. So I called my mom, God rest her soul, and I said, Mom, I'm not going to trial, I'm not going to court because it's this, that, and the third. So I'm crying on the phone. So my mom said, excuse my French, but my mom said, she said, listen, motherfucker, listen, stop crying. Stop crying. What you crying for? I said, Mom, what you mean what I'm crying for? You don't know this. She's like, man, I don't want to hear that shit. She said, listen. She said, toughen up. She said, toughen up. What you talking about? She said, you my son. She said, you put everything, she said, put it in God's hands. That's what you need to do. You need to stop trying to fight against what God is laying out for you and stop trying to be so anxious. She said, maybe you're not prepared yet. You're not ready yet. And I had no accomplishment. I had none of these accomplishments that I have now. None of these certificates. None of these certifications. You understand what I'm saying? I had nothing, bro. And so I'm expecting to go in front of these people with a fight for my life when they're looking at my character. You know what I'm saying? They look at your character when you go in front of these, when you're dealing with this habeas. Yeah, because the habeas is not like trial. It's trial, but it's not like a criminal trial. It's just about, it's all about an ineffective. When you put an ineffective in, then that's what you're going up, and that's what you're going up with. And they have to go figure out why is it that you have this time, why you have so much time. And so that's the fight for them, for you. So to prove that what was ineffective to become true. And so my mother was telling me, man, she was like, baby, she said, put it all in, put your hands, put everything in the God and let God handle it. Step out of the way. That's what she told me. She said, step out of the way. And she said, and again, coming from what I told her and what I was believing in and what I didn't believe in, that was kind of like a blow for me. It was a blow because I'm sitting there, everything playing back in my head, everything I used to tell her, and things of that nature. And here it is. I'm about to, actually put my faith into God. And that's when I made that promise. I guess I made that contract to actually really put my faith into God. And ever since I started doing that, everything started opening up for me. My wife came into my life. You know what I'm saying? 7 years later, here she is. She pops up. And this ain't nobody I just met. You know what I'm saying? So I knew her for a long time. But this is one of the ones that we say, that got away, so to speak. And so she pops up into my life, And then I run into a cat that just, he's just amazing. And his connections and whatnot. And then he builds this platform for me on my Instagram and you understand what I'm saying? So, and then, Sonny Gaddis, then he hits me with this opportunity to meet a person like yourself, man. You feel what I'm saying? So it's just, and everything just started opening up for me, though. And there's more stuff that's happening, And so I'm grateful. I really am, truly am, man. I'm grateful. So yeah, I got a date, man. I'm back in court, and my family's happy. Everybody's excited. But this is just the beginning of the fight.
Yeah, man. So you said that date that you got when you going back to court, you got something for them? You gonna have something for them by the time you get there? Yeah. I'm ready now. I just got to see this lawyer because I just got the lawyer that's representing me. He was given to me by, he was referred to me, or me referred to him by my first lawyer that I had that was representing me on this habeas. Now he works for Innocent Project, that lawyer that I had the first time. And so he put me in the hands of somebody that he said that he wouldn't do me, he's not going to do me wrong. He said, I'm going to put you in the hands of somebody that's going to handle like this. You know what I'm saying? He said, I
know how you are. And so I spoke to him on the phone, the new lawyer, and he sound lit though. You know what I mean? He's the truth. And he want to be involved. I put him on to the first interview I did with you. You know what I'm saying? And I gave him my Instagram and let him show the body of work that I'm doing and all of my accomplishments and things of that nature. So he's really excited to be involved and make this happen and get it done. So I'm blessed and grateful for that. Thankful for that. You know.
An incarcerated individual at Garner Correctional Institution. This call is not private. It will be recorded and may be monitored. If you believe this should be a private call, please hang up and follow facility instructions to register this number as a private number.
To accept this free call, press 1. To refuse, thank you for using Securus. You may start the conversation now.
But yeah, that's good to hear, man. It's good to hear that some progress is being made, man.
Yeah.
Straight up. Sometimes that's all a motherfucker. That's all a nigga need to get his whole mind in focus. Just a little bit of hope.
That's it, man. And it's to the point where I sit back and I look at everything, right, and as a whole, and I say to myself, like, I stopped pointing the finger at a lot of people and started figuring out why God put me in this position. And at the beginning of this, it was a rocky start, bro. It was a hard start. You know what I'm saying? Like I had it to the point where, man, I said, I can't do this no more. I can't. And I ain't even started yet to do anything. But it's just the thought of knowing that it's so long. This is 56 years we talking about, bro. I mean, this ain't no 5 years, 10 years, 15. This is 56 years of my life that these people took from me. You know what I'm saying? And knowing that I have a daughter, knowing that I have babies out there, and a family. You understand what I'm saying? And just, so I sat back and I said to myself, after the first 5 years, I think the first 5-6 years, right? At the beginning, as far as like first year was hectic, So, but just going through what the average person would go through in my situation. I done had dudes hang up right next door to me. I had dudes in their life. I had dudes hang up in a cell right next door to me. My first year in jail. My first year, I had a dude hang up right next door to me, man. And I used to talk to this dude. He had a birthday and all. Like, he's telling his birthday because his wife coming up. It's on the 3rd of 5. He ain't even make it to his birthday. He killed himself. And so, I don't know what that was. I don't know what type of. I don't want to say that's a sign. I don't want to say that. But I don't know what it was that I got from that. But I felt something in myself that says, you know what? You need to fight. You gotta fight. That day was a pinnacle moment for me, man. You see what I'm saying? Because at that moment, I'm sitting there and I'm saying to myself, you know what? I gotta do something, but I didn't know what, bro. I didn't know what I didn't know what to do. I'm like, I gotta do something. Because this man's death, he just killed himself. He took his life. I can't even come to think about taking my life. But it crossed my mind. Ain't that weird? That's weird. You understand what I'm saying? So it's like, it crossed my mind. But to think about actually putting into putting a structured system to where I carry out the order to take my life, nah, I couldn't. That didn't happen. But the thought did cross my mind, though. It did. Before that incident, yeah, it crossed my mind. But at the same time, it gave me, I say that it gave me this fight. It really put something inside of me to where that situation made me who I am today. It really did. It made me grow, even though I was going through complications throughout the bid. You know what I'm saying? Because this is 14 years later, man. I mean, that I've been in jail 14 years now, and so it's been a journey.
but at the same time, it's been a lesson that's well learned. And I've grown. You see what I'm saying? I've grown in so many ways, man. And this should do that to you, man. For real. It'll do that to you, man. And so, you know, I just sit back and I say to myself, you know, I'm glad I stopped pointing my fingers at people and started understanding the reason why I'm in the situation that I'm in. And I started looking at everything about around my life that surrounded my life when I was out there. Everybody that included in my life. And then I said to myself, I said, you know what? That's the issue, that's the problem. This is what we have to fix. We have to become reborn. So I had, being in here, I was being reborn. Because now here I am in the system, whereas there's nothing. You know as well as I know. There ain't nothing in here. Ain't nothing in here, but there's something in here. There's something in here that you can grow from. You can learn from and grow from. You can grow, right? There's growth and development. You can grow from things. You know, you can grow from your own self and stop into a new you. You know, so it's just like a seed being planted. And beautiful flowers bloom. You know what I'm saying? So this is how I look at it. And this is look at my life now. And coming from where I came from. You know, so I'm grateful, bro. I'm grateful. I mean, I'm grateful, man. And I got a clear understanding of where I'm going, where I'm headed. And I know who I am. I know what I want. I know what I need. I'm blessed for what I have. And you know, like Nip said, man, it's the marathon continues, man. Marathon continues.
But yeah, bro, how old was that dude? I meant to ask you that. How old was that dude that was next door to you that took his life?
He was, I think he was turning 20, 21. 21, either 21 or 22.
He was black?
Young dude. Nah, he was a white dude. He's a white dude. He wasn't a black dude.
How much he had mad time?
He was facing time. He was facing a lot of time. He was facing, like, I think, for some home invasion and stuff and something and a couple other things, but it wasn't, you know, he wasn't in there for no molestation or no crazy mess like that. But he did some home invasions and some fires or something like that, and killed some people, and you know, I guess he had family issues. From what he was telling me, he had family issues or whatever. You know, he didn't really say per se who it was that he did it to, but you know, so I'm not gonna put words in his mouth. But at the same time, he did what he did, man, and he was facing a lot of time, and he was facing more than what I was facing. So, you know, he was close to 100 years. I mean, so he was facing a lot of time, and he just, you know, he was just so excited. He was just build, man. I don't know. I felt he gave me comfort because, like I said, I was down. I was at my worst. I was at my lowest, and that conversation we used to have, you know, them nights. I only got a chance to be with him for like a week. You know what I'm saying? That whole week, man, I look at that whole week, and you know, you can't see red flags behind closed doors. You see what I'm saying? So he had a lot of them, and you know, I know people got their interpretations of what a red flag is, but this red flag can be represented in all types of ways. You see what I'm saying? It can be represented emotionally, spiritually. You understand what I mean? So you can sense certain things about people, is what I'm saying. And what I sensed about him was, and I'm going to keep it real, but I knew that something was going to happen with him, but I just didn't know what. It was just a feeling. Just maybe it's my up-north experience of being around dudes up north and dealing with situations like that. You see what I'm saying? And I don't know, it's just something. He gave me this vibe. He had a good vibe to where we can build, but it was a vibe to whereas something ain't right, something's gonna happen, and that's what happened, man. You know what I mean? I woke up to a bunch of noise, you know, and cell opened up. I woke up to a bunch of noise, man, and you know, people running in, COs. It was crazy. It was crazy, and seeing him brought him out on the stretcher, and I
And I cried, though. I'm not gonna front, I cried, man. And I only knew that dude for a week. But I think the tears was more so for myself, more so for him, because I never cried for an individual I never knew. So I think that the situation in itself took a toll on me, and it affected me in a way of like I don't want to be in that position. I don't want that. And mind you, I thought about it. You understand what I'm saying? It was a thought. You know, so I'm like, I'm gonna do this. And so I thought about committing suicide. I really did. But I wasn't built like that, man. When I saw him, I said, that's not what I want. I knew that was the rip, man. God rest his soul. I didn't want that. And I guess I was crying more for myself. And me crying for myself gave me some confirmation on about life and mistakes. And you know, trying to correct what's wrong and make it right. You know, those tears wasn't just tears for him, it was more so for me, like I said, man. And I value that. I value our time, the week that we spent together. And I look back on it, and I kind of like got strength from it. You know, it's so sad to say, man, but I did. I got some strength from it. And, you know, people think that you can't get strength from someone past. You understand what I'm saying? And you can. You can gain a whole lot of strength from someone past. And it's all about what type of effect that they left on you. What was the impression that they left on you? And how would it affect your life throughout the life that you live? So I look at it like that. You know, that's just me. That's just what I believe. That's just what I felt, what I've gotten, I've gained. You know what I mean? I don't know how other people will. You know, everybody's different.
That's a fact. Shout out to my bro. That's like, you know what I mean? My bro, the wise God, man, he said that before. He said, the thing is, man, when somebody pass away and they energy go back into that universe, now you could tap into their energy.
Right.
You feel me? They gone in the physical, but now you could tap into their energy, and it'll strengthen you. Because that's how I felt when one of my mans passed away. Like after he passed away, I felt like I tapped into his aura.
Yeah, you get it. You felt it. It's the truth. It's the truth, man. And it's a thing. It really is. Because it becomes a part of your system. It becomes a part of your structure of the way you live and how you got things and things that's designed for you. Sometimes you need that energy is blessed for you. It all depends on how close you was. You and him was so close. Whereas when he did depart from this world, from this life, and went into the universe, went into the universe, everything they say energy. Like, you know how they say, what you put out into the universe, you know, be careful what you put out into the universe because you just might get it. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of energy out there in the universe for us when it comes to our loved ones and the people that we leave, and they still love us. You know, even after death, they still love us. And even before they start to make that transition, before they close their eyes for the last moment, what they say to themselves is, I don't want to leave this person. I don't want to leave the people that I love. And so just having that type of thought before you close your eyes, the last time you're going to close your eyes, for you to have that thought, that energy stays, that energy leaves that body and come into the people that they love. And so and that right there in itself is the most powerful and most gracious thing that one can ever experience. You feel what I'm saying? And you know, it's a beautiful feeling, man. You know, it really is, man. It's a beautiful feeling, man, to know that type of love exists. And you know, they say, you know, you never know how much you miss a person till they're gone.
You have 1 minute left.
You know? And so, but we get our energy from them, man. We get our energy from them. We get our love from them. You know, and loyalty is always real. You know, so yeah, rest in peace, man. Rest in peace, big bro.
Very deep, very deep. Very deep science, man.